I just got here and it's time to talk about the final episode of season 2 from Mushoku Tensei, and I love this series so much. It's insane how good it was. The beginning of this season, the school arc, which a lot of people didn't appreciate, but I think it's great, especially for character development. But what we got here in the second half, especially the last few episodes, have been some of the best anime storytelling and characters I have ever experienced here. And I got teared up, emotional with this episode even more, but great, and I can't wait. At least we have season 3 being confirmed right after, and I couldn't be happier. But let's get into this episode and talk about the coming home again to face the music in a way for Rudy and everybody else, considering everything that happened. So let's get into it. Now, him and the group having to return home. This answered one of my biggest questions and worried, because we saw when he had a conversation with the man god having to make that choice. Either go or stay home with his family. So no matter what, there would have been regrets there. And I was so worried that, yes, he lost something very important with Paul losing his life. And also considering Zenith's situation still being up in the air, is she gonna recover or not? But we didn't know what was happening back home. Were Aisha, Norn okay, was Sylvie okay, the childbirth, everything else. I was beyond worried with that, and even more with this scene when he walks in, you see the house empty, and him having that first gut instinct reaction, panicking, nobody's there. I'm like, wait, what happened? Are they missing again? And I was like, they're probably okay, right? They're probably okay, but still in the back of my mind, like, they better be okay, they better be okay. And then we have Aisha showing up, and I'm like, okay, they're okay, they're okay. And you can even see Rudy slowly coming back down, everybody being okay there, and Sylvie walks in looking great. She looks great pregnant there, the glow on her, the new hairstyle. She's so calm. She kind of stole a bit of the episode today here, and the welcome home hug. She's so calming, has that atmosphere about her, so to say. And then we have everybody being gathered up, but I was so happy. Nothing bad happened home, and fuck you, man, God, for putting that worry on me there, and just more and more showing how much of an asshole he is, the man god, trying to manipulate Rudy with these choices here. And imagine if he didn't go there, would have lost Zenith, would have lost Rox. Yes, Paul. I think Paul probably would have still died, and many more probably in the group would have died. There, things could have gone much worse if Rudy didn't go, but he still left that notion, like, if you don't, if you go, you're gonna miss your family also, and maybe they could be in danger. Fuck you, man, God, so much here. But yes, everybody's gathered here to talk, and Norn was great. Norn is probably one of the best characters in Mushoku in general. Well, everybody's there, Rudy's like, okay, everybody's here, let's talk. And Norn looking around, looking for Paul, and you can see it on her face, the slow realization there. And Rudy tells her, shows that he has his gear and his ashes, and Norn felt like voicing all of the inner thoughts, all of the bottle up feelings, everything there, her being in shock, lashing at Rudy, blaming him, but then realizing that things were bad when she saw him missing an arm there. But I love Norn so much. She's so honest, so pure in her feelings. Even though she lets her emotions control her, she's great at this. And Rudy after that explains everything. And her, after she calms down, she also had one of the best episodes with her trauma there, being locked inside her room, and the parallels between her and Rudy. And even more here, after she calms a bit down, she accepts that Rudy did everything in his power to save Zenith, and Paul also even saying that if you did your best, nobody else could have done more. So that just means it was that dangerous. Those words there, and asking for Paul's sword. And this is where I got even more emotional with Rudy giving her the sword, but also giving the same lesson that Paul gave him, paraphrasing a bit about how to use the sword. Don't get cocky just because you have a sword. Use it to protect others. Kind of callback back in season 1 when Paul gave him those same words, kind of passing it to the next generation there. And we see a glimpse a bit. I don't know what it means. Zenith picks up and hugs Paul's gloves. Like, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's some leftover emotion into her. Can she hear what's happening around? Can she feel things? Is there something there? Is her soul still there? Some memories? Is she just full on lost? I honestly don't know, but that's a glimpse of hope there with her reaching out for something from Paul there. And yeah, that was just great, painful and amazing moments between all of them there. And Rudy tells he wants to take her in, and Lilia gonna be there also to take care of her. Sylvie was so supportive, it's insane, saying that's okay. And I liked Aisha. She was holding everything back in, and Norn is like, it's okay to be yourself, let it out. And Aisha breaks down, hugging Lilia for being home. And Lilia has been a champ, to say the least, considering everything she did for everybody and how she took care of Rudy, how she took care of Lilia after she found out that Paul died. Leave everything to me. And she's reunited with her daughter. Lilia has been a trooper, to say the least there. So great first reunion, so to say, everybody being back there. But the others decide, like Elena-Liz, Tallhand, Geese, and the other two girls decide to give the Greyrat family some time. But what I liked was Elena-Liz here, her words were great, saying she takes a bit responsibility for what happened in the part with Paul losing his life, even though it wasn't her fault. That's just the type of person she is. And kind of tells Rudy also along the same lines. Rudy was blaming himself also. Don't do that to yourself, which is very true. Yes, Rudy did get distracted. He shouldn't have been in that position there. A lot of things, what ifs, it just happened there. Paul also charged at the first time they went into the tunnel. They charged back, putting everybody in danger. So it's fucked up that it happened, but it just happened. Nobody was there to blame. Just blame the Hydra. And hindsight and looking back, if you've done things differently, it's so easy to say. But when you're in that moment, and even more with Rudy always blaming himself, this is why Elena-Liz is, again, just same as Nor. So many characters are great, and some of the best characters in the entire story here. And that was awesome. And her final words were to Sylvie, Rudy loves you, because we know what's gonna come after this. And Rudy having to talk with Sylvie here, and he's honest, starts talking about Roxy, saying directly he wants her as a second wife. But what I love, this is why I love Norn. Like, we all know and kind of get a feeling where things are gonna go, and we're fine with things. But also you have to look at the other side. Norn shocked, being angry, voicing the obvious things, the things you should say, the things you're feeling, even though you agree or disagree with them, scorning him, being angry at him, why this, why that. Norn is so awesome. I love her so much. Protecting Sylvie, thinking about herself, thinking about Millis, also the religion, following that. She's about that there, saying the obvious things should be talked about, should be said, not just brush them aside because things are gonna end up okay there. And I really like that moment. Reminded me a bit of One Punch Man. What's up with that sassy girl? It's like, why with this little girl? Why with her? She's not older than me, probably, yeah, but she's a demon. She's older, of course. And I love how Roxy took everything. She wasn't lashing out. She's insane how much she puts herself down. She's willing to take the not abuse, I don't know how to, the scorn in a way, feeling guilty for what she did to this family, so to say, kind of coming in between them there. And she starts going in on Rudy even more, Norn there. And this is where you have Rudy trying his best to say, yes, but she protected me, she saved me, she did and that, I probably wouldn't be alive if Roxy didn't watch it, but it doesn't matter. And it's both sides have a point here, but they're also wrong at the same time and right. This is why I love Mushoku Tensei. Complex, not black and white things, flawed characters making choices like this there. And Roxy, again, willing to be the one that sacrificed herself. She decides to live there. And Sylphie has been awesome. Like, I don't have the words to describe how great she has been. She says, wait, and goes after Roxy. She was the one that did this, not Rudy. He was kneeling down, apologizing there, and you see Roxy, when she turns around, she was crying. Like, no matter how much it pains her, she was willing to go with that, through that sacrifice. And Sylphie thanking her for helping Rudy, and she knew this was going to happen. Everybody knew it, even from the start of the series. It was bound this to happen. Rudy is a pervert. He's horny as fuck, but not just this. It was obvious it's gonna be a harem from the start. The three main girls. He has two of them now. Eris is gonna be next. So, if you didn't figure out this was going to be a harem, I think that's on you. And it has been done so great up to this point. I know a lot of people maybe don't like harems. I don't have a problem with them. Be it power fantasy ones, be it more serious ones like this one here. Even though this one was also very obvious from the start, it was handled much better than your generic ecchi power fantasy show, so to say. But if you didn't figure that one out, yeah, that one is on you. I'm sorry. But Sylphie here, knowing this was bound to happen, Rudy probably having sex with another woman, bringing her home, but also knowing with Roxy, he always talks about you. She's the only mage I look up to. Rudy's words there, and I'm happy I finally got to see you. You're just an ordinary girl, just like me, and you love Rudy. That took away my jealousy. Sylphie is so great. How can you not like Sylphie there? And Roxy also at the same time, for different reasons. If you're in Rudy's shoes, how can you differentiate between them? How great they have been to you, and what they have meant, and what they have done for him throughout everything he has been through there. And this is why a lot of people probably have issues with Mushoku Tensei. You don't have to self-insert into Rudy. You don't have to become Rudy. You just have to understand some of the things that happen with him and around him. Not justifying his behavior, not justifying everything. Just be understanding and differentiate between fiction and reality and complex things. This is why a series like this is so great and filters out a lot of people, honestly, here. But anyway, that's probably me ranting about Mushoku in general, not just the episode. But here we have Sylphie saying, I welcome you, let's support Rudy together. I was kind of leaning into this Sylphie being the one that's gonna do this, but the way it has been done, it's awesome. And Sylphie is great, and Roxy also is great here. Then after this we have deciding to take up swords and trading with Rudy, still being angry at him, trying to slam him a bit hard with the sword there. But Sylphie is the one that calms her down and kind of puts it into perspective. Hey, this is a bit like Paul. Would you say the same things to Lilia and Aisha? Paul having two wives, and yeah, they don't follow Miles, also another pointer. And Aisha's like, yeah, it's okay, you don't really talk. You talk without thinking, and starts teasing her a bit, and they start playing and running around. Remember, they're still kids, Aisha and Norn here, so that has been great. The reveal, the conclusion there between them, all Rudy, Sylphie, Roxy, Norn, Aisha, the entire Greyrat family, Lilia also. I'm still curious about Zenith, of course. But then we also have Sylphie being pregnant. She's gonna have like 1 month until the baby, and Roxy still wants to respect that, saying she's gonna officially become a wife, like have her own wedding with Rudy after the baby's born, still giving them time. Very respectful there, and Sylphie probably appreciates that. And then we have the birth happening, the baby coming, being a baby girl. We find out her name a bit later. Lucy Greyrat, kind of similar to my name a bit. My name is Lucian, my actual name there. And then we have Rudy, the realization of him becoming a parent, kind of similar to his birth. How we saw it in the first episode in season 1, holding her, and he starts crying there. And yeah, he's a parent now. He has a kid with Sylvie, and then another emotional scene, the grave of Paul. Rudy goes visited, catches up with him. Hey, this happened. I'm a parent now. Thank you for saving me. Without you, I wouldn't be in this position. I have a daughter, Lucy Greyrat, and him probably saying one of the most powerful lines in the entire series. And a lot of people miss this, ignore it, intentionally or unintentionally, saying I was a failure as a son, having memories of past life, so I couldn't face you like a son should, which is very true. And a lot of people miss that Rudy was emotionally stunted. Even though he was 30, 40 or whatever his age was in his original life, he never matured, he never grew up. He was stunlocked, so to say, there. So he was never a proper functioning human being, so to say. That doesn't excuse his behavior, just explains it in a way, not to justify it. But a lot of people miss this, and Mushoku is not a redemption story. It's kind of a second chance at life for somebody that fucked up their first life, or somebody fucked them up for them also. And he continues more just using old memories to act grown up. I have to grow up, and I'll probably fail more along the way, but I'll protect everybody. That I'm paraphrasing a bit. And then we have the wind blowing there. That was great. Just that scene, the speech there from Rudy, just puts so many things into perspective. Him thinking of Paul in that way, him admitting his faults even more, and the way he said it. I love this series so goddamn much. It's been awesome. And Paul also one of the best characters in the entire series. Very, very flawed characters, but this is why I like flawed characters. Perfect moral paragons of morality and everything that's righteous. They're very boring characters. I much more prefer characters like this when you're talking about a serious story. And that was great there, the conversation with the grave and Paul. Awesome. Paul gave his everything for his son there. And yeah, we get a bit of montage with the other characters being okay, and somehow Richard is traveling with Bodyguardy. I'm curious about that. Still don't fully know their connection, their history between them. And Richard, one of my favorite characters in the series. We get a bit of an Aries tease. She's gonna be the one that we still don't have the reunion there, considering everything the way ended between them, everything that happened between them. I'm beyond excited to see how that is gonna go down between Rudy and Harrison. I'm gonna say it again. She's gonna be the third one. Like, that's obvious from the start. We already know the end, how that's the conclusion between them. We just don't know how it's going to happen. So if you missed that since the beginning of the series, what are you watching? But yeah, that's gonna be. And then we have the last line. I'll go on living in this world. I could die at any moment without regret. And having the life, the people he cares about around him, this could also be a good stop point for the series in a way. But we have so many things unresolved, plot points, characters, the bigger world, Orsted, the man god, how he got to this, just insanity how much there is to talk about the series, and so many plots, twists and everything in between. But this has been awesome to say the least. And I love the series so much, and thankfully we have season 3 being confirmed. I do hope probably we're gonna get a full adaptation. Studio Bind was made for this, but yeah, overall criticism, honestly don't know, maybe add some more the scenes from the light novel. I saw you guys comments, I always appreciate them, giving some more context, even though you can infer a lot of the things even from last episode, like missing some of the things there. I would appreciate a bit more of that. I know a lot of people also complain about the animation, which I do agree. Season 1 was definitely better in the animation department. That doesn't bother me as much. I don't, how should I put this? Animation is not as important for me as the content, the plot, the story, the characters. Of course, I do like my Sakuga also. Hey, maybe take your time a bit more with season 3 there, even though we had great animation here also, especially the fight with the Hydra there. But yeah, overall, this is gonna be another 10 out of 10 for me season. I have both seasons at 10 out. I just love the series, one of my all-time favorite here. But yeah, would just like a lot more Mushoku Tensei. I'm really curious what you guys thought about the series overall, season 2, and these last few episodes here, both as anime onlys and as light novel only. Just don't go into spoilers, please. Stay up to where the anime has been, and let me know in the comments below what you think so far of the series, where do you think it's gonna go, and no alluding if you have read the source material. Of course, here I'm talking to the anime onlys. And what was your favorite moment in season 2, and the diabolical thing of airing that episode on Father's Day? So yeah, here's to more Mushoku Tensei, and probably rambled enough. Probably after the video I'm gonna wanna say a lot more things here, but I'm down to talk in the comments always. And remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. And this got me teared up a lot. So I'm gonna see you on the next video. Keep enjoying anime. Bye bye.